called I Won Grants for My Business with special guest Alaina Martin. She is a fellow entrepreneur and a business owner. I'm going to let her in just a few moments introduce herself. The reason we have this show, I like to bring on those that are in our audience that are out there being awarded grants, because their story, their journey is so powerful, and it can really inspire and empower you to go out and get free funding for yourself. So I think it's important to know that just like she's been able to win grants for her business, there's no reason why you can't win a free grant for your business. So come on in, hit that like button, right? If you're tuning in from Facebook, hello. If you're tuning in from YouTube, give it a thumbs up, hit that notification button, share this out, tag your peers in this because so many entrepreneurs really need to be empowered. There's so many still struggling, trying to find funding and don't know what to do. So these stories are not just stories, but we're dropping gems too. We're giving you tips on what you can do to get grants for your business as well. So with that said, we're going to get right into it. Welcome, Alaina.
Hi.
It is so glad to have you here on our show. To start, can you just tell our audience a little bit about yourself, who you are, and what you do?
My name is Alaina Martin. I am the owner of Alaina's Collection. We're located here in Huntsville, Alabama, home of the Rocket City. And I make skincare products, handcrafted skincare products. I make handmade soaps, body butters, beard oils, and just about anything you could think of, because I take custom orders.
Awesome. And how long have you been in business?
I have officially been in business for 1 year, but this is something I've been thinking of for like about 4 years. So yeah, I officially started like about last year, but I did a couple events in 2018, but I was pregnant. So I was like, I'll wait, but officially 1 year.
Okay, awesome. Well, first of all, congratulations on your business. And for those of you all are in the audience, because we do have a lot of viewers who are startups. They're new in business. So you all can definitely relate to her. She's only been in business 1 year, and she was able to get a grant for herself. So the grant that she won is the Facebook grant. She told me that this is one of the first ones she's applied for. And shortly thereafter, being one of the first, she actually won it. So can you tell us a little bit about the journey through the process? So you found out about it through our show. Like, how long have you been watching us? Like, how long have you been following?
Like, I think since pretty much like around that time frame, because COVID happened. It was just like, okay, like I need to like figure out, you know what I mean, some income, because they shut everything down. Like you couldn't do anything. I used to go to like events to sell it. You couldn't do that. You know, just things had changed. And I'm like, if things keep going this way, I'm gonna be out of business before, like, you know, like things really amp back up. Because I'm like, you don't know how long this is gonna last. So pretty much COVID just made me realize, like, hey, you need to be looking for money, like, you know, outside of your income, like your household income. Because I started from nothing, literally. Like I didn't have a table. Like I had some soaps, and like that was it. So I'm like, I just decided, like, hey, I need help.
Yeah. And so did you initially think that you would be able to qualify for grants, or were you one of those that were like, oh, there's like no way, like how can I qualify?
I really didn't, like, because I'm like, I don't know, sometimes like grants, they be like wanting you to have like so much, like it'd be like making $25,000 annually, and but then you want a small business. So it's like, okay, how do you want a small business, but you also want them to be making this much money so far? So that was something that kept coming to my mind, is that, like, you know, a lot of grants, a lot of small businesses, like real small businesses, we don't really qualify. So I'm like that was something. But when I saw the Facebook one, I was like, let me see. And then I was like, okay, I was like, check, I one person, that's me. I was like, okay, I'm Black. So I was like, all right. So I applied. So that's what really got me kind of like more into like applying for more grants, and showing that, or seeing that I actually do qualify, being just, you know, just by myself, to be honest, until I can expand.
Yeah, I'm glad that you said that because so many entrepreneurs and small business owners don't think that they can qualify because they don't have employees, or they're solopreneur, right, or they're a micro business. But the reality is there's grants for all types of businesses, so including those that are, whether you're a startup or you're a solopreneur and don't have any employees, there are grants that are out there for you. Okay, so walk us kind of through this Facebook grant process. So you've been connected to our show. You found out about the Facebook grant through us. What prompted you to want to apply? So you said you went, you saw, you were looking, checking off the boxes, the qualification, the criteria that I always say, check the qualifications. What are they asking for? Do you meet it? And so what made you decide to even attempt to apply?
I was like, my philosophy that I always go by is the worst thing somebody could say is no. So that's what made me do it. I was like, I qualify. Like, so, like I said, the worst thing that happened is that I just don't hear anything. But the best thing that happened is that I could get the grant. So that was all that I really needed to know, is that I qualify and that I could potentially, get a grant for being a small business owner.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so you found out about the grant. Okay, you were courageous enough. You're like, okay, I'm qualified for it. I'm going to apply. Take us through those next steps. What was it like? What was the process like for you as far as applying? Did you find it more simpler than you had anticipated, or what were your thoughts
I
on
think
that?
it was like, to be honest, it was kind of like, I didn't know what to expect. And then like when I applied, it was kind of like, I don't know, like little, like mini, like heart attacks. Cause it was like, okay, I applied. And then like, you won't hear nothing. And then it's like, okay, well, I guess I didn't get it. And then I'll email you like, hey, I need you to verify your ID. And it's like, okay, I'm still in the running. And then you won't hear nothing. It's like, okay, or something like it'll be a glitch in their system. Like when I had to upload like my ID for verification, like I think I had to do it like a couple times. I had to get on like my husband's phone. Like I had to because my phone was tripping, and I was just like, oh my gosh. So like as soon as I got the emails, like I would try to figure out how to do it, because you never know if there's going to be a glitch, or you never know what technology issues can like happen. So I want to like, because Facebook, like you said before, they would give you like 5 days to complete something, and like if you don't get it within that time frame, you're out the running. So I was on it.
Yeah, I think that's important for our audience to hear, is that when they reach out, it's important for you to take action quickly, because they only give you a certain amount of time to actually follow up. But let's talk about that wait period, like in between, right? So you apply, you wait, then they ask you for something else. Tell us about that. How important do you think having patience as a business owner is to this process?
It's very important, because like even with business, like I said, like this is something I thought of in 2016. So just for that, for me to officially be in business for only 1 year, since 2016, that's a lot of patience and dedication and focus, that like you have to send out products so people can test it. It's just a lot of patience doing a business in general. So the grant process, it was a lot of patience. It took like 3 months. So I'm like, and in between those months, you don't know like if you're still in the running, if you're not in the running. So it's like, I don't know, but then they keep emailing you. So it's like, okay, I guess I'm still in the running. So it was just kind of very exciting. Like it was like a thrill, like just to know, like, will I win? Will I not? So it was really fun, but because like I said, the worst thing can happen is they say no. But I mean, I really wanted it, but
Yeah. I think that I'm like that too. Like I was so excited by the process, and like every time they sent me any new correspondence, I was just like, oh my goodness, like I'm still in the running, and like just being patient, because some people are not very patient, right? If they didn't hear something in 1 day, they're like, oh my goodness, what's going on? But understanding not just this grant, but a lot of grants, you may be applying with hundreds, if not thousands, of other applicants. So understand that it's a process.
yeah.
You really don't know unless you're behind the scenes or you've done this before. But just think about going through over 10,000 applicants, having to vet those out, having to verify businesses, having to read people's summaries, right? That is a lengthy process. And so you definitely want them to take their time and consider you in the process, so that they don't overlook you or miss something. I'd rather they take their time and make sure that they have everything that they need, so that they can move forward in determining if I'm going to qualify for an award. So I think that that's very good as well. So with this particular grant, it came with a cash grant and an ad credit grant. So what did you think about that? I know some people were kind of confused about this process, but we were talking earlier about the ad credit. We both were excited about that. So when you found out that this grant came with a cash grant and ad credits, what were your thoughts about that?
So I had to explain it to other people because they didn't really know what ad credits were. Because I was telling them, I was like, yeah, this is the cash prize and this is the ad credits. And I was like, I'm excited for those ad credits because it doesn't take away from your cash prize. Right. So I'm like, that's what I really enjoyed about it. But pretty much, I'm like, they're giving you money just to advertise yourself across both of their platforms, across Facebook and Instagram. You get $1,500 to advertise yourself, your business. Like, I'm like, that's, a lot of advertising. That's really great for your business, pretty much. And like I say, it doesn't take away from your cash prize, so you can still get things for your business without still having to worry about like advertising. Like just Christmas just was around the corner. Valentine's Day is coming up. You can use that money to promote yourself for those type of holidays. So it was very, very important for me to opt into that.
Yeah,
it's optional, to be honest. Like I was like, no, this is a must.
Yeah, this is a must. I was the same way. Like, who would turn that down, right? But people did, because people don't really know what it is. But there are grants out there that not only they're not just cash grants, but they come with a lot of other benefits. So this is just one of them, because ad credits are very valuable, especially to those of us that advertise on these social platforms. And when you have effective ad campaigns and effective spending limits, you can really maximize those dollars. So, and not have to come out of pocket for the ad to pay the ad. So that's value. That's money there in the form of ad credits. So that's just an example of the different types of ways in which you can get a grant. It's not always monetary. It's not always cash. It could be cash and something else. It could be cash in an accelerator. It could be cash in an incubator. It could be cash and free marketing. It could be cash and free mentorship. So just depending on the grant that you apply for, it's always good to just read through what all the grant includes, just to make sure that you're fully aware of that. But I think that's so cool. Now, were you one of the ones when you applied where did Submittable have to come back to you and ask you to re-verify your account information, or were you good to go in the beginning?
Yeah, I had to redo my like that last email that they sent that was like, hey, you have to create a new one. And so I had to figure that out because like I got confused on the numbers that, the ID number or whatever it was. I think I had picked the wrong one in because I was like, I don't know. And so they told me I had to create a new one. So I was like, okay, how do I do that? And so like I had figured it out. And so I was like making sure that number was right. So I'm like, but yeah, I had to redo that part. That was like the last part. And it was like, if this isn't right, then you won't get it. And I was like, I'm making sure I get that number right.
Right. Me too. And I went like very carefully, make sure I had the right ID, and they were good about giving the instructions and taking you to the links directly to the areas for the different IDs. Cause like you said, it was more than one. And I was like, I want to make sure I don't miss out on this. So I'm going to make sure I'm a double, triple, quadruple check, make sure that all of these ID numbers are accurate or in the right place. Okay. So once you got all of that situated, you submitted all that, then there's another waiting period, right? So now you're waiting for like the next step. Okay. So tell me what happened next. What was the next correspondence?
I think they pretty much like I know one time they was asking about my, okay, I remember. And I was panicking too. Okay, so the first time it was about verification of my identity. And then one time I had went to Detroit, Michigan for like a birthday kind of trip with my mom. And so like I was just like chilling, and I got an email saying like, hey, we need, like some verification of your business, like a business license or something to say like that you are, like you have a business by either a state or like, whatever. And so I was in Detroit, and I was like, I usually like to do things that day. So it was like, I was just like stressing out. I was like, oh my gosh. So I had called home to my husband. I was like, find my business license. And he was like, I don't know where it is. And I was like, I kind of know you wasn't going to know where it is because I live in chaos sometimes. But I was like, it was worth a try. And so right when I came home, I found it, I uploaded it. And then like, I was just like, it was a waiting game. And I think right before that, that was the last thing. And then that email that I got. So that's what I think happened. It was like a couple of times, like through that 3 months, I got an email probably like once a month to like do like the next step or something like that.
Yeah. But, yeah. And then tell us about that, the last email that they sent. What was that like? How did you feel? Because that was the congratulations email. So we want
to. See, I didn't know it was a congratulations email because it was like, you still are possibly in the running. And so I was like, okay. And so I was like, and then that's when I checked out your video. And that's when you were saying like, that was your last email. And then I commented and we were talking. And you was like, that's the last email you get before you get the money. So I was like, I'm hoping that you're correct and they're not playing games with me. So I was all like, okay, we finna see Facebook. And so then I was like waiting because you said it took like a week. And so I was like, okay. So I started looking around for some supplies that I was gonna like hopefully buy if I got the grant. And I was just excited, but I was also, I'm one of those people where I try not to get my hopes all the way up just in case like I don't get it. I'm like, she's saying that this is the last email, so I'm trusting her. And so then when I got it, I was like, okay, all right. I'm like, there we go. So I was just really, really happy that I wound up getting it because, like I said, I don't know, like you feel like it can't happen to you, but it does. Like right now, like they're really giving out a lot of money right now. So I'm like, this is the time for you to actually go out there and apply and get money for your business. Like it's never been really a time like this, I don't think. Even though I just started applying for grants, I still don't think there was a time where like literally a lot of places are giving grants to like, a lot of businesses. So
businesses, yeah. Right. There's never ever been a time like this where they're giving out so much money, right?
Yeah.
For-profit businesses. So while the opportunity is here, we have to seize it.
Yeah.
Right?
That's very true.
Opportunity that is available to us. So that's very exciting. So that email is very important, audience, because like she said, it was a congratulatory. And she was like, oh, wait a minute, it's congratulating, but it says potential. Potential means you've been selected, but there's steps you have to follow through on it. And if you don't, guess what? You won't get it. Even if you were selected, if they're asking you for something and whatever it is, and like in this case, they were asking for an affidavit, and then they were asking for your bank account information. Believe it or not, people get stuck on that bank information. I've seen too many of my fellow peers miss out on grants because they didn't have a valid bank account or they didn't have a business bank account. And even though they were selected, they were very shocked to find out that they could not get it. And then what happens is that you don't get it, then the next person in line does.
Yeah.
That qualification, and that follows through.
My family, they were nervous about the bank and stuff. I was like, yeah, I just got to do this affidavit and send them my bank information and do my opt-in credit. My mom was like, I don't know about that. She was all like, I don't know about sending your information. And I was like, well, it's kind of normal. But they was like, I don't know. They was all like, scammers and stuff. I was like, well, if that happens, I can just call my bank and, figure it out. But I was like, this is kind of what, happens. It's kind of normal. So, yeah, but they was kind of stressing out for me. Like, they was trying to make sure I wasn't getting scammed by Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, and it's interesting that I've seen so many people like in a panicky mode about so concerned about scamming, but it's like you apply for the grant, right? This is not something Facebook came knocking on your door for. You applied for it, so you had to have known it was legitimate. And like, how else would they give you the money? They have to.
A lot of people expect checks, and I'm like, I rather, definitely with the mail, how things are going so slow. Direct deposit me, baby.
Yeah, right. We already know checks are delayed.
Yeah.
direct deposit and wire is the quickest way to get your money. Look, and it's one of the most secure ways to get your money as well. So, but I'm glad that you said that, because you didn't let that stop you, because that stopped a lot of people. Like, oh, I didn't know if it's Facebook, they had already told you who they were partnering with, which is Accenture and Submittable. So you should know it's not a scam if you're getting an email from Submittable. Now, if you get one from somebody that wasn't part of the program, then you question. But they told you, gave you instructions as to who was administering the program, what emails to be able to look out for. And so when they send them, then you have to take action, swift action. So you was able to do that. So, okay, they sent you that email. Then how did you find out you had a deposit?
Okay, like, it's so funny. Okay, so after I watched your video, I was like, okay, this is going to be the last like thing before money. So I was like, okay, she said that it took like a week. I was all like, and you had also said that you set up like alerts to see like when you get like large sums. So I was like, let me set up that. And so then I was like, I set it up, and then I think I went somewhere to like look at some potential stuff. So when the grant does come, and so it turns out that it was in my bank account, and I didn't get the alert. Like, it's delayed, so I didn't get it until like hours later that the money was in there. And so I was like, the money's in there, and I like looked at my account, and like I was just scrolling before I got the alert. I was just scrolling. I was like, why do I have so much money in here? Like, I was like, I don't understand. And then I was like, and then I looked at it, and it was like submittable, whatever. And I was like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah, I got it. I got it a lot sooner. Like, I think I got it like in 2 days.
Yeah.
Away. So yeah, I just wasn't expecting it like that soon. But I was like, I'm not mad. So
right. That's exciting.
It is.
So take us back really quickly, to the height of COVID-19. How was your business impacted? I know you said like everything was on shutdown, right?
Yeah.
And I know for like your type of business, you do a lot of vending, right?
Yeah.
Right. That's really big for your type of business. So how were you impacted? I know there were events canceled. Did you have to shut down completely? How did it impact everything that you were working on?
All right. So mentally, I just was like kind of depressed because it's like my business is my outlet. It's what like it, it makes me like have something to really go after and like do. So I'm like, it's my passion. So when I couldn't do it, it was just kind of like, I don't know what to do with my life in a way, because my business is my life. It helps me provide like for my child, and just like I say, like have a creative outlet. So I'm like, when that happened, I had to cancel events. I had a website, but I wasn't sure if I should be paying for the website or if I should get something cheaper until like things got better. It was just like, I was trying to save money pretty much until we figured out kind of like what was going on. And then, like I said, I did vending events, and they had to cancel it because, like I said, nobody kind of knew what the new rules were. They didn't know. It was also new. And then like me, I'm a momature, so I usually do events with my child. And so then I was like stressing about that because I'm like, I don't want him like, out here with me bending no more, because, people be he's a cute little child, so people want to like touch him and stuff. And I'm like, I don't, are you washing your hands? But you can't, like, at the same time, being a momature is very hard because like you're at work, but then at the same time, you're a mom, and you can't really be mean to people like, hey, don't, touch my child. But it's like a lot. So that's why I'm like, I really don't like being a momature, but that's who I am. So I'm like, I just have to do what's best for him, and then also do what's best for my business. And like lately, even still since COVID, I really haven't, we're still in COVID, but I still haven't done as many events, but also like I've been promoting and more so working on like the online presence. So it's kind of like helped me not have to do as much vending and stay here with my child more, which is like nice because of COVID. So I just really had to adapt. I started doing more free pickups and also deliveries. So that really helped my business because a lot of people didn't really want to go to a place anyway. So having something like personally delivered to them, that's like a luxury. You get what I'm saying? Like that's like a luxury service. And so like that also helps you to get more potential customers because they're like, I don't have to go to you. You're coming to me. Like, who we eat Uber Eats and stuff like that. It's just the same thing. I'm just delivering you some hair care products, some soaps and stuff like that. So that also is what really, really helped me, was just to think of a different option pretty much. Like when things happen, like I always tell people, like I'm one of those people where I seem like I have it all together, but I live in chaos, but it's just life. So I'm like people be asking me like, how do you do all this? And I'm like, I just weed through the chaos. I'm like, if something happens, I'm like, how do I figure out, like, how do I adapt pretty much? And that's really what has happened. I had to adapt and change. And so far it's working for me. Hopefully next year I'll be able to vend a little bit more. But I'm also, like I said, I'm working on my online presence so I don't have to vend as much, which I really like doing, like the whole wholesaling and different things like that, where I can make it, spend time with my child, and just ship out the product. So that's something I've really been working on. So I've been enjoying it so far.
Yeah, I mean, that's the life of an entrepreneur, adapting and adjusting. We're really resilient and resourceful. And that's where we found ourselves here. So that's exciting to hear that you were able to pivot into the online space. I know for myself, I love delivery. I love the fact, because I haven't really left my home since March, only on important, it has to be very important for me to actually leave and go and commingle, right, with other people. So having access to delivery to things that we still need, right, all the time, and that you're able to meet that need, and then you're also increasing your visibility in the online space. And what I also tell people is applying for grants gives you additional exposure, right? So you're able to get on this show. We are able to talk about it, right? You get exposed to the audience that I have. It's a wonderful thing. So what are your plans for the money that you receive? How are you planning on using it in your business?
Okay, so I've already started spending some of it. So I'm like, some of the things that since I make like soaps and stuff like that, it's been things that I really, really needed, but I'm like I like to start out very cheap and then expand. So I'm like I started out with nothing, just bars of soap, and like you should see my packaging back then. It was horrible. But pretty much the things that I started buying was just more inventory, so I can pretty much stay in business a lot longer. Then also I got a new soap cutter that hasn't come yet, but the mail system right now. But I can't wait. It's so nice. Like I can't wait to cut some bars of soap. And I just bought like a new printer. I just bought like some inventory stuff that I can make my products with. That was really all I've bought so far with it. But I haven't really bought too much because, like I said, I like to save my money. So I just been trying to save as much as I can because, like it could still, be gone like that. And like you still need to be able to, continue business. Like you don't want to use all that money and then I have nothing still. Like, so yeah. So I just been saving most of it, but I have spent some of it just on things that I needed. But that's about it.
That's awesome. Like everybody's business is different. So audience, think about again, what is your situation? What can you use grant money? Free money. Grant money is free money for your business. What can you use it on? Like, I think that's so interesting. Like a soap cutter, right?
Yeah.
You make soap. So just think about your business. I've known people that pivoted and started making masks, right? So they went out and they bought more equipment and materials to be able to make masks. Or they started making hand sanitizer. So, whatever your business is, just think about what it is that you need, like right now, to sustain yourself or to pivot, right?
Yeah.
And getting free money should be part of your pivot strategy because you're really going to be needing it. And like she said, we don't know. Because I remember back in the beginning, people were like, "Oh, I'm not going to apply for anything. I'm not. I'm okay." And they were like, "Well, let the other people that's not doing okay get it." And I'm like, "Well, you need to be getting money for yourself. We just don't. You may be fine now, but look, we're like almost a year later."
Yeah.
And COVID is on the rise, right? And this is still impacting businesses. So that's why I said way back then, you just don't know. You want to make sure you're securing funding to take you to secure you for the long haul until we get through this pandemic. And so we can see what it's able to do for a business. So we're excited to hear that. So before we close out, I just want you to share with our audience like one or two tips or words of wisdom you would share with our audience to encourage, inspire, and motivate and empower them to take action in their own business to get free funding.
I think that like you already said, like I was talking to somebody else who they kind of didn't want to apply for more grants because they wanted more, you know what I mean, more people to get it. But yeah. I'm like, if you qualify for it, this is the time to go ahead and get it. Because like I said, it's never really been a time like this before. So once this is over and the government, you know, or whoever's giving the grants away, once this is over and they feel like they need to move on to, you know, somebody else, it's going to be over. So I'm like, this is a time where people and companies are really trying to get back. So apply. If you qualify, apply. Like I say, the worst thing that can happen is that they say no, or that they just don't email you back and just say like, you know, that you didn't get it. But, you know, at least you tried. And it also gives you knowledge to like, okay, well, this is the process. Like it doesn't hurt to apply pretty much. Like, I mean, it's like my mom always say, either you're going to pay with your time or your money. I'm like, I like to pay with my time more so than my money. So I'm like, my time, when I say that, my time was actually applying for the grant. That took time. It didn't cost any money, but it took time. But it gave me money. So that's what I would give as a tip, to either pay with your time or your money, pretty much.
That's good. Invest in the time to get your money.
Yep.
It's always say. And like she said, the time is now. The process has never been easier.
Yeah.
Right? Imagine just investing 30 minutes of your time can reap you $2,500, $5,000, $10,000. Investing your time, that's giving you this money. So the money is definitely out there. There's a lot of it. There's more to come. I've just done recent videos on the new COVID relief package that was just passed. It's on the president's desk. So there's more money coming. Small businesses are being flooded with money. So we definitely don't want any of you all to miss out on the free funding that is available for you. We just want to thank you so much, Alaina, for coming on.
Thank you.
It's so wonderful to have you here and just to hear your story. I know I see our audience out there. We see you guys. And we know that they are really inspired and empowered and motivated to take action in their businesses. So we're super excited about that. And we wish even more grants for you and wish you all the success in the world. So before we close out, can you just remind our audience how they can connect with you if they want to purchase some of your wonderful products?
All righty. So I am on Instagram under Alaina's.collection. And you know you have it right when you see the little lady with the afro and the sunglasses. Nice. And then also on Facebook on Alaina's Collection also, and look for the lady. And I'm also on YouTube too. My channel is called Life of Alaina. So just definitely go and follow me on one of those platforms, and I will be posting this video and tagging my other pages. So just go ahead and follow me, y'all. I would appreciate it.
And we would definitely leave her information, like she said, in the comments and also in the show notes of this video. This is just so exciting. This is we're in a challenging time, but there are so many opportunities out here for us. Alaina, she emailed me. She emailed me her testimonial that she got her grant. So I encourage you all, as you win your grants and free funding, it's a pitch competition and you win and you get free money for your business. Do let us know. Share it with us. Shoot us an email at hello@shebosstalk.com, and we would love to share your testimonial, even possibly have you on the show. If you are an entrepreneur, small business owner seeking funding for yourself, please do check out. We have tons of videos on all the relief programs, how to get it, how to apply for the grants that are out there. We have our grant tracker that is available, free online tool on our website at www.shebosstalk.com, where we update grants every single week with new grant opportunities, pitch competitions, scholarships, ways to get you free money. And then as you can see scrolling across the screen, is our winning grant application cheat sheet, which has been super popular. I created it and it has all my tips and tricks on how I've been able that I use to get over $60,000 in the last few months for my business. And I've helped over 1,000 entrepreneurs and small business owners secure free funding for their business, over $3 million from all of these different programs that they before coming across our channel, they did not even know existed, did not even think to apply because they didn't think that they were qualified and didn't know how, right? So we're giving you the tools, we're giving you the information, we're giving you the how, we're giving you the when and the where. So all you have to do is have the intention and be proactive and take action. So take action today. There are plenty of grants that are still open, CARES Act grants in your local geographic area. Go ahead and apply. And again, share your testimonials so we can congratulate and celebrate you because, this is the time that we can rise and thrive together. Let's help each other get there. Again, if you have not subscribed already, do so. Hit that notification button. Or bell if you want to stay in the know with everything that's going on with all of this relief money that's out there. And do share this out in our channel because sharing is caring. Let's help impact more entrepreneurs and small business owners. As always, continue to be the boss with amplified impact and continue to stay in good health and stay safe. Have a wonderful day. Bye.